most important country in the world, we need very smart people. We're running against something far bigger than Joe or Kamala, and far more powerful than them, which is a massive, vicious, crooked, radical left machine that runs today's Democrat Party. They're just vessels. In fact, they're perfect vessels because they'll never give them a hard time. They'll do whatever they want. I know many of them. It's just this amorphous group of people. But they're smart and they're vicious. And we have to defeat them. And when I say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy. It becomes a sound of, oh, how can he say? They've done very bad things to this country. They are indeed the enemy from within. But this is who we're fighting. These are the people who are doing such harm to our country with their open border policies, record-setting inflation, Green New scam, and everything else that they're doing. But we're not going to let it happen any longer. We're going to have the biggest victory in the history of our country on November 5th. It's going to be the biggest victory. On top of it all, Kamala says she would not do one thing differently from Joe Biden, which is totally disqualifying. And you have to remember this. All of them sexy men, and you know what, maybe is the worst, but they're also bad. Think of this. 325,000 children are missing, dead, sex slaves or slaves. They came through the open border and they're gone. Their parents will most likely never see them again, almost any of them. Think of the number, 325,000 children are missing or dead. Take a look at this, please.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022. Two men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder and the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A fifth illegal immigrant accused of attacking two New York City police officers over the weekend shows no remorse or regret.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
18% said the economy is in excellent good condition. US inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
Authorities saying Train Day Aragua, which has been linked with more than 100 criminal investigations here in the U.S., has now been found operating its criminal enterprise in apartment complexes.
Are you the last person in the room? Yes.
So if you want to end this disaster, you got to get out and vote. Just go out and vote. You got to get out. We have to put it away. We're close. We're so close. You know, usually the Republicans are losing in the first week of the early voting. And we did something that has not been done. I don't think, Speaker, it's been done yet, but it's been done for us. We're leading every one of the swing states. Republicans like to vote on a thing called election day. You know, in the old days we had election days. Today we have election periods. They go on forever. And last time they went beyond and start early, start late, do whatever the hell they want. You know, we got more votes in 2020 than any sitting president in history by many times. And we did great, obviously, in 2016. We won, but we did much better in 2020. But everything, nothing compares to what's happening. I mean, you have tens of thousands of people people standing outside watching us on a television, and we love you out there. We love you very much. But both of those great races, both of them, don't compare to what's happening now. In Florida, we took a massive lead, and all of these places. I mean, there's something happening that's really good. There's something happening that's really good, but let's close it out. Pretend you're 1 point down. Would everybody pretend? Let me just do a poll. Who has already voted? Who is going to vote? That's what I like. That would be better than the other way. If you've already voted, so I'd say 16, 17, maybe 20%, and we're leading. And most of you haven't voted, but you promise you're going to vote? Everybody promise? A lot of people in here. Well, the beauty is that